Hello tankers, and welcome back to another World of Tanks Console Edition video. Today we are looking at the much awaited T-34-88 premium tank. I'm just going to run through the stats and the setup of this tank really quickly, and then we're going to jump into some ace tanker gameplay. Now this is a Soviet tier 6 medium tank that is probably the most eagerly awaited return to sale premium tank in the game. It's only been sold a couple of times, and people are always asking when this is coming back on sale. What is so good about this tank? Well, it is a T-34-85 with the short 88 from the Tiger One shoved on top of it. It's meant to be, I think the idea is it's a kind of Soviet tank that's been captured by Germans, so as you can see it's got some German markings on the side. And it's pretty good, and because of that it allows you to train both Soviet and German crews in it, so it's kind of special in that way, a little bit like how the AMX Chaffee can train two different nations crews, so can this one. So it's very good for that. It also has another little funny trait that it doesn't make bonus silver like normal premium tanks, but it instead gains bonus XP. And whilst all premium tanks and elite tanks get a little bit of bonus XP compared to normal ones, the T-34-88 gets a slightly increased rate of XP. So very good vehicle. It's got very nice DPM. The gun stats are exactly the same as the Tiger One short 88, which is the second top gun on the Tiger One. So if you've got that, you can go and look at it. It'll be exactly the same. We'll just pull those up here for you though, so you can have a little look. This gives it pretty much the highest DPM of any tier 6 medium tank in the game. And the only one that can really surpass that is the A43 if you decide to use the 57mm. With no modifiers at all, that gives you 2094 DPM, but if you start to put a fully trained crew on there and a gun rammer, that soon becomes 2426 DPM. And then if you go all out and put brothers in arms, vents, gun rammer and gold consumables, you can push it up over 2600. If we have a little look at the armor, it's got 90mm on the front of the turret, 75mm on the sides and 45mm on the front of the hull, which is a little low, and 45mm on the sides. It also gets 7 degrees of gun depression, which it's kind of right in the middle of the tier 6 medium tanks. It's not incredible, but it's not terrible, so it gets the job done, but you're not going to be riding home about it too much. So let's have a little look at the equipment that I'm running on the T-34-88. I am running a gun rammer, gun lane drive, and coated optics. I think that's a pretty standard setup. I think the only real thing that you might switch on that arguably would be to put on vents. You might fancy putting on vents instead of the optics. Personally, I think optics is a better, going to give you more benefit. You have a 360 meter view range in this, I think, which is pretty decent. It's not crazily good, but it's pretty similar to a lot of the other tier 6 medium tanks or thereabouts. But you don't get any preferential matchmaking in this tank, so it's nice to be able to push that view range up just a little bit, especially if you... I find a few people were asking me about crew skills for this tank, but really since it's such a crew trainer sort of tank, I find I'm always having different crews coming in and out of it. So like half the replay that we're going to show you in a minute, I think it's a no skill crew. It might have 6 cents on it, but that's it. So, and I had a Radley Walters replay we put up a few weeks ago that was a 0 crew skill crew. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Like obviously if you did want to have a little look at crew skills that are going to be useful to you, 6 cents first, you're going to want brothers in arms. Where are we? Yeah, brothers in arms. I guess maybe repairs okay. I'd probably personally go for maybe recon and situational awareness to extend that view range, and then after that it's really up to you. I mean, smooth ride's always useful, clutch braking's kind of nice but probably not necessary in this. Off-road driving is normally kind of nice, but again this tank doesn't really need it too much. It moves around pretty nice. And what else might be nice? Snapshot's always a good one to have on, or Deadeye, but like I said, it's one I probably wouldn't worry too much about the crews that are going to be in it, because you're going to find you're using it for crew training and you're going to be switching all sorts of crews in and out of this tank. It does very well even with a crappy crew in it, so don't worry too much. So how's this tank going to be available? It's certainly not going to be a free one to earn, but it's going to be in a variety of bundles. First of all, it's going to be available on the 15th of September. That's going to be bundled with the Centennial Chieftain T95, which is a tank you'll be able to earn for free. It's another reward tank, as they call them. So if it's a reward, if you can't be bothered to grind out that reward tank, then you can also buy it in a similar vein to the Hammer and the CDC. And that kind of thing, like the Motherland. The first bundle that's available on the 15th of September is the 100 Years Mega Bundle, or the Crazy Bundle, as I like to call it, because that's going to cost you 19,600 gold, and your left arm and your left leg, and it comes bundled with a whole bunch of random stuff, like premium time and equipment and all this kind of stuff. You could also just buy the Chieftain on its own on the 15th as well. If, however, you don't fancy spending your life savings buying the T-34-88, then you can wait until the 23rd of September, when it's going to be available in one of their fully loaded bundles, where it comes with just some equipment. I think that's going to be 6,300 gold. And then if you can bear to hang on for another few days, I think about the 26th of September, there is going to be the raw bundles available, which is just going to be the T-34-88 for 4,000 gold. So if you want the cheapest T-34-88 you can get, hang on till September 26th and get the one for 4,000 gold. The Chieftain at that time is going to cost you 10,450. So I'd really recommend trying to get that for free by completing the ops, whatever they turn out to be. So let's jump in and have a little look at some gameplay of this tank, and you guys can make up your minds on whether it's something you might want to buy. I certainly would recommend getting it at that 4,000 bundle. It's a very nice tank, and it's so infrequently available that if you don't buy it, you're going to be kicking yourself, because it's probably not going to be available again for a good another year or so. So here we are in battle in the T-34-88, and we are bottom tier. This is a tier 8 game. Now, when a little birdie at Wargaming told me this tank was going to be coming on sale, I went out to do some games in it so I could try and get a good replay to use for this review. This was the first game that I played, and well, this happened, and then I didn't need to play any more games. So, well, enjoy it. This is a kind of mix of damage and spotting, this one. If you want to see one that's a bit more just raw kills and damage, I'll stick a link to that down below. We've got one that went up a few weeks ago that's a Radley Walters in the T-34-88 on PlayStation, and that's in a 0 skill crew as well. So here we go. We've moved up to a pretty classic spotting position on Mali. We've got a pretty crazy T-29. Who knows what he's doing, but we can put a nice shot into the side of him, and you can see that lovely alpha damage that that short 88 can put out. So we just shuffle back here. We've spotted up quite nicely off that ridge. We just want to drop back and put another one into this guy. A little bit surprised that the standard shell didn't go through there, but we'll try again, see what we can do. And another bounce, but we are picking up some spotted ribbons, and you can see we've got 7 already, and the game has barely begun. So it looks like this guy's probably disconnected, I think, or his controller batteries have run out or some such. But a little bit frustrating to bounce some shots on him, but we're still picking up plenty of spotting points, so that's fine. Just wanted to move back up here and respot anyone that's up the top. There's a 34-85, which is what this tank would be if it had the original gun on it. But we're just shuffling around here, trying to... Our main threat at the moment is anyone that's up near that hill. You see that shot that came in a minute ago. We're just watching out for people up there shooting down on us, and I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been paying attention to the bomb. We can tell if we got any skills on this crew because we'll see 6 cents pop up. So if we don't see 6 cents pop up, then we'll know that this is a 0 skill crew. So there we go. We've got a couple of guys up here. Cromwell should be pretty easy pickings, and that 34-85 is getting eaten up by our team. And also failing to spot me thanks to these bushes. So KV-85 spotted at the back there as well. Start to pick up some spotting ribbons on him straight away. Putting us up to 16 assisted ribbons already, and another 2 there for luck. And we managed to hit him with a blind shot after he's unspotted. And looks like we might have tracked him with that one as well. Yep, we did, and we finished him off whilst he was unspotted. So still pretty even team-wise, even though we've been in a pretty, doing some pretty dominant spotting. We managed to land a big shot on the Cromwell, but unfortunately even on a fraction of health. Would have been nice to finish him off, but no luck this time. Full Health Tiger 2 coming up. Try and put one into his tracks. There we go. We do have 6 cents. Saw it pop up at the bottom. So it must have been a one skill crew. I think this was the crew I started grinding up from fresh for for my Canern and Jagdpanzer. And there we go, we take our first shot. The Cromwell managed to put one into the side of us. And we see if we can hit this IS-3, who's nicely side on. He's a long way away, but he is side on. And he turns, unfortunately. But we managed to track him. And hopefully we use up his repair kit. And looks like someone else actually shot him while he was tracked. Cromwell being very bold for someone with absolutely no health and not really very much armor. So we're going to keep an eye on him. He looks like he's going to keep poking his nose up until he regrets it. So just trying to read where this guy's going to pop up in case we can get lucky and just hit him as soon as he comes up to make that shot. Because you know, as soon as he gets spotted, he'll just be backing off again. But if we can be pre-aimed in, oh, there we go. He came up on the other side, but there we go. We get lucky and managed to hit him with the not quite aimed in shot. And you might have noticed this is actually on my PlayStation account. I've got the tank on both accounts, both on Xbox and PlayStation, but tend to use it more often on my PlayStation account at the moment because I don't have many premium tanks on there. This is a really useful one, obviously, as it can train both German and Soviet crews. Means you need to buy less premium tanks because you can have one that does twice the job. So we just shuffle back up to the bush here where we're spotting people out pretty nicely and just kind of waiting to see what's going on the hill, really. We know they've still got that IS-3 knocking about. I think they've still got that VK a bit further round. So just kind of waiting to see how things pan out. I'd still certainly rely on my teammates this time because it's going to be difficult for this thing to take on many of these tier 8 tanks on its own. But as long as we've got a friend or two, the mobility and the gun of this tank is going to be able to help out in a big way. So here we've got MX M4 45. Try and lead the shot, but he stops, or maybe he gets tracked. No, there he gets tracked. Now it said 404 in the yellow there, but that was actually that's just a bug that happens with the game sometimes. If two people hit them at the same time for damage, it shows the combined total and it will show it in yellow. So that wasn't me hitting him for 404. That was two of us hitting him at the same time. But he was very comfortably taken down. And you can see we're starting to rack up a little bit of damage now to go with our pretty outrageous amount of spotting early on. But I'm keeping myself in this position. It doesn't feel like it's really time to dash out yet, especially with that possibly full health or almost full health IS-3 over at the back there. Oh, hello, and a full health Tiger 2 who we bounce off, unsurprisingly, with the snapshot. Again, just looking for shots coming from over there. That's the main threat. We can tell it's pretty clear over on the field now as well. Ooh, Tiger 2 takes one of our guys down. Just see if we can respot him. There he is. And this time we don't get spotted as well, so we can try and aim in a shot. There we go, one into the side of the turret. Goes through the Tiger 2 very easily. Not bad for a tier 6 tank. We are firing premium shells here because we're firing at a tier 8 heavy tank. There's a Nashorn that we don't have to worry about because he's already dead. And we another shot from the side. Presumably that was the VK who landed that one. Try and respot the Tiger 2. There he is. See if we can put one more into him before we back off. Just trying to find that side of the turret. Looking for the VK and managed to land a nice shot into the side of him with a Prem shell and take him out of the game. So that's 4 kills, 20 assisted ribbons, 9 damage ribbons, and there's just 3 of the enemy left. So we're feeling pretty good. We've only got 450 hit points left, but looking pretty solid for the team. The IS-3 is a little bit of a worry, but a top tier heavy who's hung back so much in a battle doesn't always tend to be the best player, so you don't normally have to worry about them too much, you know. And there's the VK-36H on full health. See where he's going to go. Put one into the side. Standard shells are all that's going to be required. Aim in for the tracking shot. And miss it. Decide, screw it. Well, we'll just put a damaging shot on him. He's just sitting there anyway. why bother trying to track him? You can see this when this rolls high, it can roll really nice. 226 is an extremely respectable amount of damage for a gun that reloads so quickly to be putting out. 5.4 second reload for putting out 220 damage at tier 6 is very nice indeed. So there we go, we are now mopping up. We have one tank left. It is a full health IS-3. But it is also a full health IS-3 that has been hanging around right at the back of the map for the entire game. And like I said, I don't think we have too much to fear from this chap. So quite a stationary game really. I mean, we were shuffling around a lot, but we moved to one map location and we just played that very, very solidly for the whole game. But that's kind of what this game's about really. It's all about getting your tank into a position that really uses it to its advantage and really helps out your team. So just try and find a shot on the back of that IS-3. We've got our Prem shells loaded because we know the IS-3 is going to be a little bit tricky to pen. Probably not from the rear, but you know, screw it. It's a bottom tier game and I know I'm having a good game and I want that to continue. There we go, managed to track him. And we get unspotted as well, which is very handy. Put another one into the side of him. And see if we can get one more. Bang, we can. And we track him again, just as he takes down one of our guys. And there's the kill shot with my last Prem shell of the game. So there we go. That is that. 2,620 damage, 4,000 assisted, 5 kills, mastery badge. We've got the I can never say it, but the Levislaco or whatever medal that's for killing 2 tanks that are 2 tiers higher than you in a medium tank, because we killed at least 2 tier 8s and we pressed the wrong button. But there we go. We can see there's a couple of ops there. They gave a bit of a boost to the silver for this one, so it did make a little bit more silver than you might normally do. And you can see there it managed 2,187 base XP. So there you go, that's some gameplay in the 34-88. Like I said, if you want to see another replay with some kills, there's a Radley Walters game that we've got up on the channel. I'll put a link to that in the description. And like I said before, I heartily recommend getting this vehicle. It's not available very often, you know, if you fancy, if you like being thrifty with the money you spend on the game, this is not a bad option, mostly due to the fact that it's a good all-round vehicle and it can train 2 different nations' crews. So there you go, hope you guys found that video useful. My name is Ben, we are the Beard Guys, and I'll see you next time.